All right, it's 5 o'clock. Call the Law Enforcement Committee meeting to order. Recognize that we have a quorum. And do we have a motion to approve our minutes?
So moved.
Motion and second to approve minutes. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? Aye. Open Law Enforcement Committee to public comment. No public comment. I'll close the public comment period and move on to Sheriff's report.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the first, you gotta take it. The first three over to Lance, let him take care of them.
Surplus property request to destroy. This has been submitted, yes sir, been submitted to finance. And it's all old computer equipment, everything is electronics. So we're just asking, instead of just pushing this stuff out to the sale, because most of it just needs to be destroyed, so this company will do it for free. They don't charge us anything. They're certified, they're CJIS certified, and they take all the scrap out of it, all the.
Y'all still using Scott's?
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Before I pass out the request on the budget, the next thing is gonna be additional tasers. And if y'all remember, 2 years ago, we did a contract with Axon for our tasers, our in-car cameras, and our body cams. At that time, we had some tasers that were still usable, that we had purchased at a later date. And now they have reached, after 2 years, have reached their end of life. And so we're wanting to replace them, and we're gonna request the money out of the restricted court security fund, which was a litigation tax. And I've talked to the finance director, there's plenty of money in there. We're gonna try to hold off to the end of the year, but there's a part 2 to this coming after this, so the reason we're asking for it now. But again, this would be out of litigation tax, court security. It would be coming out of the general fund. It's for 3 additional years, which would tie with our existing Axon contract, which was for 5 years. So if y'all approve this and you approve the budget amendment, that's the reason I'm presenting you the contract first. So this is for 3 additional years at $19,900 and some change per year. And it would come out of the next 3 years, it would come out of the court security litigation tax. So if y'all approve that, I'll hand out if you wanna say, yeah, you're gonna approve the contract, send it on.
How many tasers?
This will get 15 additional tasers.
What taser model is it?
10.
And I was gonna say they worked when we used them yesterday, so.
Does it outfit all the deputies with the new Taser 10s?
All the deputies have it. This will outfit the court security officers in the courts and the supervisors in the jail that have tasers. They already had tasers.
Gotcha.
But the tasers we placed in the first batch, the big batch that y'all approved, we had these that we had purchased at a later date. We didn't trade those in. Now these have reached, and they were the 26s. So now these have reached end of life, and we're at the point we need to replace them.
Move to approve.
Motion and second to approve contract. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
All right, and
Hang on just a minute, Nancy. Is Aaron here? Does that require, where are you?
I'm here.
Does that require a resolution or just?
I think it's going to be considered an issuance of debt, but since we're paying for it over 3 years, so I think it's going to need a resolution.
So it'll go through budget tonight?
It will.
I just want to get the
Yes, sir.
paperwork right.
and I'm not gonna do the budget on, or the budget amendment on this until I get to the next one. So at the same time, when we did all this, we did all the in-car cameras and all the body cams. We did body cams for every officer in the department that would be required by policy to have one. We did, which included SROs. We did not do in-car cameras in the cars for SROs, because typically 99% of their stuff's in the school. We didn't do them for civil process. We did body cams for civil process, but we didn't do in-cars for civil process. And we didn't do it for the jail transport cars. We have found that we really need them in the civil process cars because they're traveling the road 24/7, 365. And same way with the jail transport, because of transport inmates to and from prison, to and from other facilities. So we're asking for 15 additional in-car cameras. This would be another part of the contract amended. This would be required to come out of the general fund. And we're doing it, and I'm gonna say this, it would have already paid for itself on one rack if we'd probably paid for itself on one, because we had a in-car camera in a car that proved that we're probably not gonna be liable for a wreck based on having the in-car camera. So they're very valuable, they're very important. Every one of the deputies are utilizing them, and I believe, and the sheriff's gonna say this too, that this is not a want, this is a need.
And,
Cost.
and
What's the cost?
The cost on this for the total cost is $111,000, but it's
One time?
over 3 years, yes, sir. And so this would be
111 per every year for
No,
3 years? Just
no.
one-
roughly 37,240
Okay.
for 3 years, for a total of 111. When we bought this package originally, this was like $1.something million that y'all approved. And if you remember, I think it was Commissioner Smith that approved this, or where we bought the patrol cars. And we paid for them outright. So we've been using that money that's in our budget for the patrol cars for the 3 years to pay for the first piece of this. So that money's already allocated. So all we're doing is asking for 37,000 more over the next 3 years, along with the court security money to make this whole package complete.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and second to amend the contract for in-car cameras. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
So this would be the two budget amendments. You'll need both of those. And the first budget amendment is out of restricted court security funds. Sorry, Tom. Restricted court security fund, $19,840. And we would ask that that be returned for the next 2 years, which would go into the budget, and it would be going into law enforcement.
Have a motion for the budget amendment.
Second.
A motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
And the second part of that is out of the general fund, moving $37,245. And it is misquoted down at the bottom. It says court litigation tax, but it's not funded for the court litigation tax. It's coming out of the general fund for the in-car cameras for the patrol units. But this would be reoccurring coming out of the general fund.
Motion for this budget amendment?
Motion, also correction at the bottom for explanation.
Yes, sir. That would need to be corrected at the bottom. It should say additional funding from general fund instead of court security.
I got it.
Got a motion, to have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
That's all I have.
okay, I'm gonna, the number 4 on that list is, I'm gonna do a resolution for some deputies. We're gonna put that off till September. So we'll hold it off till September, and I'll probably do it just during my regular report in September. Want to skip number 5 a minute, and then we're gonna go down. Last month, the county was awarded a grant for the purchase of a special response tactical vehicle that's mainly used for SWAT operations, SRT operations. Anytime you call out, our tactical unit has to be called out on. It's awarded to the county, and I know, I want everybody to understand that it's awarded to the sheriff's office, but it's gonna be a use to Mount Juliet, Lebanon. It's a county, it's possessed by the sheriff's office, but Mount Juliet, Lebanon, Watertown, any other entities would have a use for that vehicle. We would supply that vehicle to them. But the grant, there's nothing we need to pass any money on tonight. I'm just keep getting y'all informed of where we're at. That grant was for $297,401, and that's the complete purchase price of that vehicle base model. There's gonna be some certain things that needs to be added to it to upgrade, that work, that things that we need to it. There'll be some additional funding, but in the end, we got almost $300,000 out of grant. And, but we will be coming forward to y'all at some point, accepting that grant, and also adding the upfitting that we need for use of us. And we'll give them out to letting them see what type of things they need in it, so if they ever have to use it. So that's where we're at. Nothing needs to be acted on tonight. I'm just informed if we can get that in the minutes there for me, Mike.
Sure, I got a question. How much do we think it's gonna cost to upgrade it?
Around $60,000. Don't
Right.
set me on that yet,
Right.
because like I said, there may be something we see that we may be practical,
But we're getting a $300,000,
well,
I'm gonna use the term free, but nothing's free.
no, it comes from somewhere,
Yeah.
but it's a vehicle that's needed.
It's a huge gain. for
It's
the
a
county.
gain for the whole county, and we will. We met with Munchie, we met with Lebanon, but everybody put it for the grant back. And it's the understanding of every agency that it's there if they need it. So they'll train in it, Lebanon train in it, we'll train in it. But I sit here and actually the resolution, I was going to honor some deputies in August, that we had to call Metro to get a vehicle just like this. It was a barricaded situation where we was out on 8 or 10 hours and finally had to go in the house. And it was a bad situation. And this vehicle that we was loaned from Metro, actually, I think it made that entrance in that house a lot more safer.
Yeah.
Sheriff, but then you talking about an armored vehicle then.
It's somewhat, they call it a Bearcat. If anybody wants to Google it, it's a Bearcat. It's a pretty nice vehicle.
So Linco Bearcat G3. Yeah. And just some further depth with it is it's through the Homeland Security Urban Area Security Initiative grant, and our area only gets so much money. So they try to give a jurisdiction an armored vehicle ever so often, and it's Wilson County's turn to get one. So we definitely don't need to pass up on that. It's going to go to another county or someone else is going to spend that money.
This is just informing y'all nothing we need to act on tonight. But I'd say in a month or two, we'll be coming back, letting you know the full figures and accepting grants. All right, last thing I've got is, I want to hand these out. There's been a lot of, and I'd like this to go in the packet if I can somehow, if I can get it.
Okay.
I think on the agenda it says retention of
Thank you, sir.
employees. I just want to pass this out, let y'all review it, and everybody get their eyes on it and see what the real figures are. This is a 2-year study we did, to see, you know, the employees that we're losing. And then after this last budget cycle, we've done a little bit, and, but according to these figures and all these flyers that you're gonna see in the back, and Mount Jit's on there, Tyler, and Lebanon's on there too, and Tennessee Department of Corrections is on there, and several other agencies on there where they're advertising to hire people. And I'll tell you who they're going after. They're going after trained people. They're going after I'm not saying y'all are. Y'all have hired couple. But I don't blame them, okay? And I don't blame them.
I'll keep my comments to myself.
I don't blame them. But it's, I mean, we're talking about patrol deputies that we lost 14. School resource officer 6, corrections officers 88. Warrant officers 3, y'all can read it for yourself. Court officers 2, dispatchers 12, detective 1, IT person 1. And a lot of these people that's leaving, and listen, they're not just going to another agency. A lot of them are. Watertown just hired one of my corrections deputies. And good hire.
Must not been paying him that.
And
I'll just see the county.
you know, so, yeah.
Then you go hire him back.
But you know, it's and we do an exit interview with a lot of these employees that's leaving, and not all of them's going to other agencies. A lot of them's going to private sector where they're paying more money, and don't have to put up with all the nonsense. But I think this, but you can look at what these starting rates at these other agencies are. The ones that are leaving, going, I mean, this younger generation, that's, you know, they see them figures, and, you know, you can't fault them. They want to take care of their family or whatever. But I think the discussion needs to start happening right now. We don't need to wait till next year at budget time to start talking about this. But I'm gonna continue to bleed if something's not done. And I'm just keeping y'all informed of where I'm at. And there are true figures right there in that pamphlet, and I'm gonna put it in the packet where every county commissioner can see it.
What's it cost to go to the academy now?
It's actually free.
No charge.
No charge, state
No
grant,
charge,
state grant, right now. But that, take that away, it was for $3,500, and now. On
But
top
y'all
of-
hire somebody, FTO, and do all that, put them through the
It's a
academy,
year,
and then
it's a year of time. we
they
spend
can
with
go
them.
down there and overnight make $15,000 more.
That's correct. And, but, you know, I just wanna keep, I'm probably gonna come here every month and just remind, because here's where we're at. And the numbers speak for themselves.
How many applications do you normally get for a deputy position when it's open?
Right now, we're not getting hardly any. We're not getting hardly any.
I checked last week and there was none.
Yeah, we got 300.
believe.
Interviewed 80, and 14 are going through chief interviews right now for filling 6 positions that we have. At our agency, we don't have a hiring problem, which is a good thing, but I think the reason for it, Diane's making a face in the back. The reason for that is because we work to try to compensate our people fairly to attract them. And what I hear from other agencies around Nashville who don't pay like we do, or like Lebanon does, or like THP, is the quality of candidate you're attracting for that lower level pay. A lot of them typically have baggage and may come with liability issues and probably barely get hired unless their post was not pulled. And agencies are finding themselves hiring people, they still have their post, right? But they probably still have baggage and background issues with their prior agency, and they probably don't need to be hired, or they're just agency hopping left and right.
And we found some of them, we vet them pretty good, but we are finding.
You're running
some of
into that, so
We're
it's harder to hire. But I've been talking about this ever since I got on the commission, is the county is gonna find ourselves in a hard spot. And I didn't quite realize we had turnover of 88 correctional deputies, right? Because people at that low pay, they can't even live a life at that low pay, or pay for a family, right? Or pay to even come to work. They're having to travel from Smith County, Macon, wherever. And then so to get the lower level pay increases, everyone else above that has to have pay increases. We ran into a little bit of an issue at one point in time with our dispatchers. We were having a hard time attracting quality dispatchers. But I have to have dispatchers. I can't have vacancies in dispatch. So the biggest issue with our pay jump this time is really get our dispatchers out. But that has a trickle effect to avoid pay compression, getting everyone else on up. And when we did that, that just continued to get our people in line with the market in our area of what we're trying to hire. So I truly hope we can do something. I know we just passed a budget. We had limited funds. As a commission, we did everything we could to get county employees pay up. I haven't quite seen the pay study yet that we've worked on, because I'm curious to where deputies truly land within the market. It would be nice to see that, so we can be educated in that front, because there could be positions in the county that don't need pay increases, and there could be positions in the county that really need pay increases. But I think the basic function of government is protecting our people, and we have to ensure that we have correctional deputies to staff the jail, because I know on our front, we send a lot of people to y'all's jail. Lebanon sends people to y'all house people in that jail. And it would be terrible if we ever got in a situation where you said, we don't have room, because I don't have deputies to staff the jail. And then what you also run into then is then you're having to think of other ways, how do I clear my jail out? And you're releasing people a lot faster than they probably need to be released, just to create bed space in the
I'm
jail.
not releasing people, but I can't say I can't take them.
But if you couldn't staff your jail,
But
what
if,
happened?
I would have to find somewhere that would keep them.
Okay.
That's what
Can y'all talk dollars, like what is your starting officer start out, and what is your starting officer? So what's the difference? The difference?
70,000?
About $3 an hour.
55,000?
Yeah.
About $3 and some change an hour.
Annual salary.
Yeah, I don't think that resonates.
What's the annual salary?
70 to 55,
Yeah.
roughly.
$3 to $4 an hour.
Lebanon's about 65, somewhere in there.
Our
they-
dispatchers make more than deputies. I think our dispatchers make more than some of your supervisors.
What's your dispatcher started at?
They top out at 70. I have to look up what they start out at, but I can get to
While he's looking that up, here's the problem though that I've seen, because I was the fire chief or whatever, but this one over here's doing a pay study, this city's doing a pay study, and it's just like a whirlwind. I think they all need to get together and just do it all at one time, because this is gonna be never ending, I promise you. Lebanon just got it, and so, trust me, when we bump Roberts up, then Lebanon's gonna start. I know we're not on that board, but Lebanon's gonna start, and then Mount Juliet's gonna start. It's gonna be never ending until somebody makes $1 million.
But what I think, I believe it's going to be never ending, because I think every organization has its own culture. There are people who want to be deputies, but they don't want to work for Mount Juliet Police. There are people who want to work at Lebanon Police, but they don't want to be deputies or work at Mount Juliet Police. But you have to at least get your agencies within a range. We'll never be THP money. We at Mount Juliet will never be Metro money. But not everyone wants to work for Metro and do that. So I don't think there'll be too much of that back and forth. I think you at least got to get our people up to be somewhat competitive and just in a situation where they can afford to live, right? And I think our deputies are just that far behind.
And I want y'all to understand too, I understand we just passed the budget, we're sitting here in August, okay, 1 month into the budget. But I'm sitting here today saying, we don't need to wait, we need to start
Right.
discussing this. There's no action we need to take or do anything tonight, but we have to start talking about this. Because there's a need, I mean, you're talking about correctional officers. I've had correctional officers not have enough money to buy gas to come to work, and we had no
Right.
money.
Sheriff, last year, we started about this time talking about it, and then the rails came off.
I know.
Yeah, we've been talking,
So we've been talking about it a long time.
Tyler's been going at it for the
And
last
I
year.
agree with what Tyler said, except one thing. I don't think this commission explored every avenue that we could have explored. I think there's another avenue that we could have explored, and
What
we
is it?
didn't go that direction.
What is it?
Nobody likes to say it, but we can look at, we should have raised our AFT when we had the chance. We should have looked at what a property tax increase looked like.
Yeah.
And we didn't even look at that. And it's not popular, but I've said it before, I didn't get elected to get reelected, so.
Right.
And if you really care about taking care of our people, then what we say at this table, we need to be willing to explore every option.
AFT is growth, and that's the way to go with it.
So,
Someone asked about the dispatcher money. Year one, they're at 52.
Right.
They top out at 70 at year 5.
so you be a dispatcher and make just $3,000 less than patrolman.
When-
You made a comment about releasing people and all that, and state inmates, the dollar figure, and I don't know how it all works, but I know it's a stream of revenue, and I'm always,
We're paid so much a day per state inmate, and I don't want everybody to think I'm just holding all the state inmates I can. I send the bad ones, I send the ones, I can try to keep it at a number. As long as they'll take them. But this past year, $2,169,000 was taken in on state inmates. The year before that, 1,112,000 taken in. The year before that, 1,690,000. I can keep on. So, we're bringing money in. But
that's a question for Aaron, is that already a budgeted amount?
We
Okay.
budget about 1.5 million. You heard the swing in the numbers. We went from 1.1 to 2 to 1.6. So just as a baseline, we budget about 1.5. Sometimes when they come and ask for medical supplies or whatever, the offset of that will be the additional state inmate revenue if we see that's the case. I will say, if I'm allowed, in response to what Commissioner Chandler was talking about, having spoken with the sheriff about a month ago, when we started getting emails showing what the other departments were paying. Spoken with the sheriff and also spoken with the mayor, we have commissioned an updated pay study just to make Commissioner Dow happy. Because everything changed July 1. I mean, Lebanon changed significantly from July 1.
And I was part of that conversation, yes.
So we have asked
Yes.
for an updated pay study for Sheriff's Department only at this point, just to see where we are in regards to where the
I
market
got
is.
the other question, like I'm gonna call that revenue that comes in. The other offices, county offices that have revenue that comes in, is that all budgeted as well into the general fund, or is that?
Yes, all the fee
The
offices.
offices don't carry a fund balance?
No offices. Now, there are funds that carry fund balances, but the individual offices don't, unless, like we were talking about courtroom security earlier, there are certain revenue sources that are restricted.
Okay.
Can only be used for certain things. But other than that, it's all general fund.
Sheriff, do you have a minimum staff
That's
level
what-
you have to have in jail? Do you have like your minimum staff?
Yes, and I think y'all seen it the past couple of years, as it relates to overtime, we're coming back and
Yeah.
asking for it. Yes, you're 100% correct.
So when y'all are at minimums, does it take longer to process people in?
Good.
Yeah, so if I have, from my standpoint, if I see officers having to wait an hour or two,
It
up in
very
the
well
jail, it's
could.
probably because of staff
It
levels.
very well could. Because we can only take in once we say Lebanon Mountain Jail arrest one, we can only take them in when we're ready.
Right.
And the personnel and we ain't got people just piled up and looking there. We've got to do it because
Safe
they're
way.
better off out there with y'all than there right now. So
Yeah.
yes, there are some staffing levels and several things that factors into that.
Mr. Gentry, do you have a
Yeah,
question?
Sheriff,
Yes.
how many DUI weekenders do we have in our jail normally? You know, people come for the weekend because they have jobs.
That's not.
Is that
many.
anything at all?
That's not that many. I
Not
mean,
that
you may
many.
have 10 or 12 a week.
I think a lot of it, y'all don't have a lot because they work they go to the programs
There's a lot
now.
more programs
They have
than there used to
private
be. That they can sign up for different programs where they wouldn't have to serve that jail time different.
The only reason I'm asking is because Nashville, I know I had a friend that got a DUI in Nashville. He had to pay to go to jail for the weekend. Now, there is a resolution in the state has a resolution, I've seen a resolution.
No, I think he had to pay to go to the program.
No, he had to go to jail.
I know,
He's been-
but Davidson County has a whole separate facility that's not really like a jail, it's more of a program building. And yes, he would, if he went into that facility, he would have to pay. But it's not considered like ours, close the door, lock the key. So
He
yes,
said
you're
he had to pay to go to jail, oh, I know. And he
Is this
didn't
just public drunks you talking about?
No, DUIs.
Oh, I was gonna say, I started business and bring them over.
Do you have a question for
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, I know one thing that bothers me is like when these people get arrested, they don't have insurance. And it's costing us a fortune. Is there anything we can do about that?
The-
You know, like when they come in and they bend
Well, I will
over.
say something. This current, the answer to your question is no, unless the legislation
Okay.
changes it, okay?
That really bothers
The
me.
next thing I can say is the current medical company we're under contract with right now, they go out and find people that, insurance companies that these people are on that we're digging into. Unlike, we wasn't able to do it before, but this company's doing it. They've saved us I ain't gonna tell how much money, on these medical bills. And our medical bills are skyrocketing. Y'all see in the past 2 or 3 years. And they're gonna be continue to be like that. I'm gonna go and warn you.
So let me just ask, so if I went to the dollar store and stole some bubble gum and they took me to jail and I was like, golly, my stomach, and y'all had to pay, we taxpayers had to pay for it. That just don't seem right, but anyway.
Change the law. But I can say we are recovering a lot of money from insurance companies.
Because how much have we spent in the last year?
A lot.
A lot.
That's all.
It was $2.9 million last year.
I was gonna say
I was
three.
gonna say 3, so that's pretty close.
Yeah, 2.9
That'd go a long
in
way.
medical last year.
Anything further?
And in saying that, like Maynard said, this inmate, state inmate money, we had, that offsets that some. So
Right.
that is offsetting that. And we got other things, the commissary account, the phone vending, the phone machine, phone recording, machines, and, you know, we get so many cents off every phone call. We got tablets in there. I never liked why would we put the tablets in the jail, you know? But let me tell you something, it's a godsend. It controls their behavior and also we're making a little money off the top of it. So, and a lot of them fees go over to offset the medical and overtime.
Like, just one more question. What does a deputy top out now annually? What's their annual salary for a deputy?
20, well,
Commissioner
Well,
Holden,
how many years of service is what you're gonna ask?
we're not, I don't want you to take it the wrong way, we're not paying people by the scale. I mean, we've created a pay scale, but nobody's being paid by the scale. So basically, my highest paid deputy is $29 an hour right now, and some change. When, and if we went by the pay scale, he should be making 35,
Yeah.
but
But we just don't do that. I
we
thought
don't,
thought
we
tried
haven't
to
funded the
fix
pay
that.
scale.
that was in the plan, but it all, the rails fell off. So,
Yeah. At the end of the day, again, the proposal was, I believe, 9 million to basically put people in the spot based on tenure, do a 4% adjustment to the table. That was not.
So you're saying
was not
the
set.
base at 29, they're making barely 62, not even that yet.
I think the highest paid is, we've got one deputy that's, I think there's about 12 that's in that 29, that's a change position. Basically, there's, on the pay scale, there's like 4 scales, that's sort of where they've fallen into. So a starting out deputy's like $26 an hour, and that'd be with 1 year of service, and a 30-year deputy's making 29.
Y'all are probably one of the lowest in the state. We definitely this region.
For a deputy that's been there
For a
30.
county this size, yes, now, for a county this size.
Sure.
I can't say lower than state, because I met with all the little bunch of sheriffs last week.
Yeah.
And there's some other counties that's.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're having the conversation now. If we don't, we're going to find ourselves in a hardship.
any other questions? Anything further? Any new business, old business? Another motion?
Motion to adjourn.